She can't even see the parking signs. How stupid do you have to be? Those words hang in the air of Providence, Municipal Court. The man who said them is Derrick Walsh. He's 23 years old. He's wearing a Tom Ford suit that costs $8,000. His shoes are Christian Louboutin. The red bottoms flash when he walks. A Patek Philippe watch sits on his wrist. It costs more than a new car. His hair is slicked back with expensive gel. He smells like cologne that comes in a bottle shaped like a diamond. He's laughing. Actually laughing. An 86-year-old blind woman. Judge Frank Caprio sits at the bench. His face is calm, but his eyes are sharp. They miss nothing. He's seen many people in his courtroom. Rich people, poor people, young people, old people. But this is something different. If you believe that justice should be the same for everyone, no matter how much money they have, you'll want to see what happens next. You won't believe it. The courtroom is full today. Every seat is taken. People stand against the back wall. They came to watch Judge Caprio. He's famous for being fair, for being kind, for seeing people as human beings, not just case numbers. The bailiff stands near the judge. His name is Michael Santos. He's been doing this job for 15 years. He calls out the case number. Case 2026, TR 48291. City of Providence versus Dorothy Martinez. An old woman sits in the front row. Her name is Dorothy Martinez. She's 86 years old. Her hair is white and thin. It's pulled back in a small bun. She wears a flower print dress, the kind your grandmother might wear. The colors have faded from many washings. Her hands shake in her lap. She holds a white cane, the kind blind people use to walk. Next to her sits a young woman. This is Dorothy's granddaughter, Maria. She's 32 years old. She works as a nurse at Rhode Island Hospital. She took the day off work to be here. She couldn't let her grandmother face this alone. Dorothy can't see the judge, can't see the courtroom, can't see the people staring at her. She lost her vision 8 years ago. Diabetes took her sight slowly. First, everything got blurry. Then dark spots appeared. Then one day, the world went black. She lives on Social Security, gets $940 a month. That's it. Her rent is $700. That leaves $240 for food, medicine, bus fare, everything else. She takes 6 different pills every day, just to stay alive. The pills cost money. Her Medicare helps, but not enough. She doesn't own a car. Hasn't driven in 8 years. Can't drive. She takes the bus everywhere. Or Maria drives her. That's it. So why is she here? Why does the city say she owes $14,200 in parking tickets? Judge Caprio looks at the file. His reading glasses sit on his nose. He flips through page after page. His eyebrows rise. He reads more. Then he looks up. "Mrs. Martinez," he says. His voice is gentle. "Can you approach the bench, please?" Maria helps her grandmother stand. Dorothy holds the white cane in one hand, Maria's arm in the other. They walk slowly to the front. Each step is careful. Dorothy can't see where she's going. She has to trust Maria to guide her. That's when Derrick Walsh walks in. He pushes through the courtroom doors like he owns the place. His phone is out. He's looking at the screen. His thumbs tap away. Texting someone. He doesn't look up. Doesn't say excuse me. Just walks right past Dorothy and Maria like they're furniture. "Excuse me," the bailiff says. "Sir, you need to wait your turn." Derrick finally looks up. His eyes are cold. "I'm just checking something," he says. "Relax." "Sir, please step back and wait to be called." Derrick rolls his eyes. But he moves. He stands off to the side. Close enough to hear everything. Close enough to interrupt. His phone is still in his hand. He keeps glancing at it. Judge Caprio watches this. Says nothing. Yet. Dorothy reaches the bench. Maria helps her stand in the right spot. Dorothy's hands grip the wooden rail in front of her. Her knuckles are swollen. Arthritis. Her fingers are bent at odd angles. "Mrs. Martinez," Judge Caprio says, "I'm looking at your file here. It says you have 87 unpaid parking tickets. Is that correct?" Dorothy's voice is quiet. Small. "I don't know, Your Honor. I don't understand. I don't have a car." The tickets are all for the same vehicle. A 2019 Honda Civic. License plate number. He reads the number, registered to this address. He reads her address. "Your Honor," Maria speaks up. "That's my car. I registered it at my grandmother's address because I was staying with her for a while. I moved out 6 months ago. but I never changed the registration. I see. Judge Caprio nods. And where were these tickets issued? The clerk speaks up. Her name is Patricia Lee. She's worked in this court for 23 years. Various locations around downtown Providence, Your Honor. All in commercial loading zones. All issued between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. over the past 9 months. Maria's face goes pale. Oh my God. What is it? Judge Caprio asks. My ex-boyfriend, Maria says. Her voice shakes. We broke up 10 months ago. He was staying at my grandmother's place with me. When I kicked him out, I took my car back. But he must have made a copy of the key. I wondered why my gas tank was always empty. Why I found parking tickets in the glove box sometimes. He told me they were old. That he'd already paid them. I believed him. Derrick Walsh laughs. Actually laughs. Out loud. Everyone turns to look at him. Sorry, he says. Not sorry at all. This is just ridiculous. Just pay the tickets and go. Why waste everyone's time? Judge Caprio's eyes move to Derrick. Young man, you are not part of this case. Please remain silent or leave the courtroom. I'm just saying, Derrick continues. Like he didn't hear the judge. 14 grand isn't even that much money. I spent that on a weekend in Miami last month. Just write a check and be done with it. The courtroom goes silent. People stare at Derrick. An old man in the third row shakes his head. A woman whispers to her husband. The bailiff takes a step toward Derrick. Judge Caprio holds up his hand. The bailiff stops. Your name, the judge asks. Derrick Walsh. Mr. Walsh, I will ask you one more time. Be quiet or leave. Derrick holds up his hands. Fine, fine. I'm quiet. But he's smirking. Like this is all a game. Judge Caprio turns back to Dorothy and Maria. Mrs. Martinez, did you give anyone permission to use this vehicle? No, sir, Dorothy says. I didn't even know Maria had a car at my house. I can't see it. Maria, when did you discover the tickets? 2 weeks ago, Maria says. I got a letter saying my license was suspended. That's when I found out. I called the court. They told me about all the tickets. I couldn't believe it. I tried to find my ex. He changed his phone number. Moved away. I don't know where he is. Have you filed a police report? Yes, Your Honor. Last week. But the police said it's hard to prove. He could say I let him use the car. His word against mine. Judge Caprio writes something down. And Mrs. Martinez, you live on Social Security. Yes, sir. How much do you receive per month? $940. Derrick Walsh laughs again. This time louder. That's it. That's less than I spend on coffee in a month. This time, Judge Caprio's voice is sharp. Mr. Walsh, one more word, and you will be removed from this courtroom. Do you understand? Yeah, I got it. Judge Caprio looks at Dorothy. Really looks at her. He sees her shaking hands. Her worn dress. Her white cane. Her blind eyes that can't see him but are pointed in his direction. Trusting. Scared. He sees Maria. Sees the nurse scrubs sticking out of her bag. She came straight from work. Didn't even have time to change. Her eyes are red. She's been crying. Stressed. Worried about her grandmother. Angry at herself for not changing the car registration. For trusting the wrong person. Judge Caprio has been a judge for over 30 years. He's seen thousands of cases. But something about this one hits different. Maybe it's Dorothy's age. Maybe it's her blindness. Maybe it's the absurdity of charging a blind, elderly woman $14,000 for parking tickets she couldn't have possibly gotten. Or maybe it's Derrick Walsh standing in the corner, smirking, laughing, treating this like entertainment. Judge Caprio takes off his glasses, rubs his eyes, puts them back on. Mrs. Martinez, he says, I'm going to ask you one question. Just one. And I want you to think carefully before you answer. Dorothy nods. Her whole body is tense. Waiting. If I were to tell you right now that you have to pay these $14,200 in tickets, what would happen to you? Dorothy's face crumples. A tear rolls down her cheek. Her voice breaks when she speaks. Your Honor, I couldn't pay it. Even if I wanted to. Even if I stopped eating. Stopped taking my medicine. Stopped paying my rent. I couldn't pay it. Not in my whole life. I'd have nothing left. I'd lose my apartment. I'd be on the street. I'm 86 years old. I'm blind. Where would I go? The courtroom is silent. You could hear a pin drop. People lean forward. Watching. Waiting. Maria is crying now. She holds her grandmother's hand. Please, she says to the judge. Please don't make her pay this. It's not fair. She didn't do anything wrong. Judge Caprio nods slowly. He writes something else down. I understand, he says. Thank you for your honesty. That's when Derrick Walsh makes his biggest mistake. Oh, come on, he says loudly. This is a joke, right? She's working you. Can't you see that? She's playing the poor blind grandma card. Everyone's got a sob story. Doesn't mean they get out of paying what they owe. The courtroom erupts. People gasp. Someone says, "Are you kidding me right now?" The old man in the third row stands up. Have some respect, he shouts. The bailiff moves toward Derrick. But Judge Caprio holds up his hand again. He's staring at Derrick now. Really staring. His eyes are like steel. Mr. Walsh, Judge Caprio says. His voice is quiet. Dangerously quiet. Come here. What? Why? Come. Here. Now. Derrick walks forward. He's not smirking anymore. Something in the judge's voice makes him nervous. He stands next to Dorothy and Maria. His $8,000 suit next to Dorothy's faded dress. His $60,000 watch next to her arthritic hands. What's your name again? Judge Caprio asks. Derrick Walsh. How old are you, Derrick? 23. What do you do for a living? Derrick's smirk comes back. I'm in cryptocurrency. I run my own investment firm. We specialize in NFTs and blockchain technology. How much money do you make? Is that really relevant? Answer the question. Derrick shrugs. Last year? About 2.3 million. Before taxes. Gasps fill the courtroom. $2.3 million. And he's only 23. Maria's eyes go wide. That's more than she'll make in her entire career as a nurse. Dorothy can't see the reaction, but she can hear it. The sharp intake of breath. The whispers. 2.3 million, Judge Caprio repeats. That's a lot of money. I work hard for it, Derrick says. Like he's defending himself. I'm sure you do. Tell me, Derrick, why are you in my courtroom today? I got a speeding ticket. Going 78 in a 40. But it's whatever. I'll just pay it and leave. It's whatever, Judge Caprio repeats. Do you know why there are speed limits, Derrick? To make money for the city? Derrick laughs at his own joke. No one else does. To keep people safe, Judge Caprio says. To protect children walking to school. To protect elderly people crossing the street. To protect families driving home. Do you understand that? Sure. Look, can we just get this over with? I have a lunch meeting. Judge Caprio leans back in his chair. He's quiet for a long moment. Just watching Derrick. Studying him. Clerk, pull up Mr. Walsh's file. Patricia types on her computer. Pulls up the information. Her eyes widen. Your Honor, Mr. Walsh has 14 prior speeding tickets. All within the past 2 years. All paid in full. Amounts ranging from $150 to $850. 14 tickets, Judge Caprio says. That's almost one a month. Do you see a problem with that, Derrick? Not really. I pay them. What's the big deal? The big deal is that you're treating traffic laws like a subscription service. Like you can just pay money and do whatever you want. Isn't that how it works? Derrick asks. He's not being sarcastic. He really thinks that's how it works. Judge Caprio shakes his head. No, Derrick. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. He gestures to Dorothy. This woman standing next to you. She can't see. She can't drive. She didn't do anything wrong. But she's here facing $14,000 in fines. You've been speeding through our streets for 2 years, putting lives at risk. And you think it's no big deal because you can afford to pay. I mean, yeah, that's kind of exactly what I think. The courtroom explodes again. Someone shouts, unbelievable. A woman covers her mouth in shock. The bailiff shakes his head. Judge Caprio holds up his hand for silence. Tell me about your car, Derrick. My car? Yes. What do you drive? A Porsche 911 Turbo S. Just got it last month. Paid cash. It's silver with black interior. Custom exhaust. It sounds amazing. How much did it cost? $230,000. But I got a deal because I paid cash. $230,000. For a car. Judge Caprio lets that sink in. Mrs. Martinez, how much is your rent? $700 a month, Your Honor. So Derrick's car costs the same as. He does the math quickly. 328 months of your rent. That's over 27 years. Dorothy can't even process that number. Her mind can't grasp it. 27 years of rent. In one car. A car this young man drove off the lot just last month. Derrick shrugs. I like nice things. Do you live with your parents, Derrick? Yeah, but it's a big house. They don't mind. And who gave you the money to start your business? Derrick's face changes. Just a little. My dad invested in my company. How much? Why does that matter? How much, Derrick? $1 million. But I paid him back. With interest. Your father gave you $1 million. Do you know how many people have parents who can do that? That's not my fault. No one said it was your fault. I'm asking if you understand how lucky you are. I'm not lucky. I'm smart. I made good investments. Judge Caprio leans forward. You made good investments with your father's $1 million. There's a difference. Derrick's jaw tightens. He doesn't like where this is going. Let me ask you something else, Derrick. Have you ever gone hungry? What? Have you ever skipped a meal because you didn't have money for food? No. Have you ever had to choose between buying medicine and paying rent? No. Have you ever been afraid of losing your home? No. Have you ever worked 2 jobs just to survive? No. But I work hard. I'm on my laptop 12 hours a day sometimes. On your laptop. In your parents' house. With your $1 million head start. While Mrs. Martinez worked as a seamstress for 45 years. While Maria works night shifts at the hospital, trying to save people's lives. While people all around you struggle just to survive. And you think you're special because you turned $1 million into $2 million. Derrick's face is red now. This isn't fair. You're attacking me. I'm asking you questions. If you feel attacked, maybe that tells you something. The courtroom is completely silent. Everyone is glued to this conversation. Even Dorothy, who can't see, is listening to every word. Her face shows something. Not quite a smile. Something else. Like maybe, just maybe, someone is finally standing up for people like her. Judge Caprio picks up a piece of paper. Tell me about your ticket, Derrick. Where were you going when you got pulled over? I don't remember. The police report says you were on Broad Street, near South Providence, at 2:30 in the afternoon. School was just getting out at nearby Hope High School. There were children everywhere, and you were going 78 miles per hour in a 40 zone. Do you remember now? Derrick shifts his weight. Maybe. The officer's report says you told him, and I quote, I was just testing the new engine. Sorry, bro. Judge Caprio looks up. Testing the engine. Near a school. With children present. I didn't see any kids. That's because you were going too fast to see them. That's the whole point of speed limits. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. I'll pay the ticket. Can I go now? No. Judge Caprio's voice is firm. No, you cannot go. Because we're not done here. Not even close. Derrick looks at his watch. Actually looks at his $60,000 watch. In front of everyone. While Dorothy stands there shaking. While Maria holds back tears. While the whole courtroom watches in disbelief. Mr. Walsh, Judge Caprio says, do you have somewhere more important to be? I told you. I have a lunch meeting. More important than this court. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. You keep checking your phone. Looking at your watch. Sighing. Acting like this is beneath you. So let me ask you directly. Do you think you're too important to be here? Derrick doesn't answer right away. He knows it's a trap. Any answer will sound bad. But his silence is an answer too. Let me tell you something, Derrick. Something important. In this courtroom, everyone is equal. The millionaire and the person on Social Security. The business owner and the nurse. The young and the old. The sighted and the blind. Everyone. Your money? Your car? Your watch. They mean nothing in here. Do you understand that? Sure, Derrick says. But he doesn't sound sure. I don't think you do. I don't think you've ever understood that. Because you've been buying your way out of consequences your whole life. Pay the ticket and drive away. Pay the fine and forget about it. Money fixes everything, right? It usually does, Derrick says. And then he realizes what he said. How it sounds. I mean, that's not what I... But it's too late. The words are out there. Hanging in the air like smoke. Judge Caprio closes the file. Folds his hands on the desk. Derrick, I've been doing this job for over 30 years. I've seen thousands of people come through this courtroom. Rich people, poor people, everyone in between. And I've learned something. Want to know what it is? Derrick doesn't answer. But Judge Caprio continues anyway. Money doesn't reveal who you are. It amplifies who you already were. You were always this person, Derrick. Always this selfish. Always this blind to other people's struggles. The money just made it louder. That's not true, Derrick protests. You don't even know me. I know enough. I know you've gotten 14 speeding tickets in 2 years. I know you were going 78 miles per hour near a school. I know you laughed at an 86-year-old blind woman's struggles. I know you think $14,000 is not even that much money. I know you compared it to a weekend in Miami. I know you're standing here in an $8,000 suit next to a woman whose entire monthly income is less than your watch. And I know you don't see the problem with any of that. That tells me everything I need to know about who you are. Derrick's face is bright red now. His hands are clenched into fists. Fine. You want me to say I'm a bad person? Fine. I'm a bad person. Happy? Now can I pay my ticket and leave? No, Judge Caprio says. Because I haven't decided what to do with you yet. I haven't decided what to do with either of you. Mrs. Martinez and you. 2 very different cases. 2 very different people. But in a way, connected. Because you both show me something about how justice works in this country. Or doesn't work. He looks at his computer screen. Types something. Reads. Then looks back up. Mrs. Martinez, I have reviewed your case. I have seen the evidence. The police report about your ex-boyfriend. The fact that you don't drive. Can't drive. The fact that Maria registered the car at your address, but no longer lives there. The fact that you have no money to pay these fines. And I've made a decision. Dorothy's whole body tenses. This is it. The moment that will decide her future. Whether she keeps her apartment or ends up homeless. Whether she can keep taking her medicine or stops and dies early. Whether justice will see her as a human being or just a case number. Judge Caprio's voice is gentle again. Soft. Mrs. Martinez, all 87 tickets are dismissed. You owe nothing. $0. Dorothy gasps. Her knees go weak. Maria catches her. Holds her up. Both of them are crying now. Maria's tears fall onto her grandmother's shoulder. Dorothy's mouth opens, but no words come out. Just sobs. Relief flooding through her entire body. The courtroom erupts. People clap. Some cheer. The old man in the 3rd row wipes his eyes. The bailiff is smiling. Even the clerk, Patricia, who's seen everything, has tears in her eyes. But Judge Caprio isn't done. Furthermore, I am ordering the city to flag this vehicle in the system. Any future tickets issued to this license plate will be immediately investigated. Maria, I want you to file a formal complaint against your ex-boyfriend. Include everything. The police report, the parking tickets, everything. He broke the law. He stole from you. He put your grandmother at risk. He should face consequences. Yes, Your Honor, Maria says. Her voice choked with tears. Thank you. Thank you so much. You don't know what this means. I do know, Judge Caprio says. I know exactly what it means. It means your grandmother can keep her home, can keep taking her medicine, can keep living with dignity. That's what justice is supposed to do. Protect the vulnerable, not crush them. Dorothy reaches toward the judge's voice, her blind eyes searching for him even though she can't see. God bless you, she says, her voice barely a whisper. God bless you, sir. Judge Caprio nods, even though she can't see it. You're welcome, Mrs. Martinez. You can sit down now. Maria helps her grandmother back to the bench. They sit down, still crying, still holding each other, still processing what just happened. Dorothy keeps repeating, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you." Over and over. The courtroom settles down. People stop clapping. But the energy has changed. Everyone feels it. That's what justice looks like. That's what it's supposed to feel like. Then Judge Caprio turns to Derrick. The young man is standing there, watching. His face is unreadable. Maybe he's moved by what he just saw. Maybe he's annoyed that Dorothy's case took so long. Maybe he's still just thinking about his lunch meeting. Mr. Walsh, Judge Caprio says, "Your turn." Finally, Derrick mutters, not quite under his breath. People hear it. Judge Caprio definitely hears it. "Excuse me." "Nothing. Let's just do this." Judge Caprio opens another file. Derrick's file. It's thick. Lots of papers. Derrick Walsh, age 23, charged with speeding, 78 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. This is your 15th traffic violation in 2 years. Is that correct? If you say so. I do say so. It's right here in black and white. 15 violations. Do you know what that tells me? That I drive fast. That you don't learn. That consequences don't stick. That you think you're above the rules. Every time you get a ticket, you pay it and forget about it. The lesson never sinks in. Does it? Derrick shrugs. I guess not. You guess not. Do you know what could have happened when you were going 78 near that school? Do you know what happens when a car hits a child at that speed? Nothing happened. No one got hurt. This time. But what about next time? What about the time after that? How long until your recklessness kills someone? That's dramatic. I'm a good driver. Good drivers don't get 15 tickets in 2 years. Good drivers don't go 38 miles over the speed limit. Good drivers don't treat traffic laws like suggestions. Derrick rolls his eyes. Actually rolls his eyes. At a judge. In a courtroom. People gasp. The bailiff moves closer. This kid doesn't know when to stop. Did you just roll your eyes at me? Judge Caprio asks. His voice dangerously quiet. No, Derrick lies. Yes, you did. Everyone saw it. Mr. Santos, did Mr. Walsh just roll his eyes at me? The bailiff nods. Yes, Your Honor. He did. Interesting. Do you know what happens when someone shows contempt for this court, Derrick? I didn't show contempt. I just. You rolled your eyes. You checked your watch. You complained about waiting. You laughed at a disabled elderly woman. You said, finally, when it was your turn. You've been disrespectful from the moment you walked in here. That's the definition of contempt. Derrick finally looks worried. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Yes, you did. You meant all of it. You've meant everything you've said and done today. That's the problem. You think this is all a joke. A minor inconvenience in your busy day. But I'm going to show you something, Derrick. I'm going to show you what real consequences look like. The courtroom goes silent again. Everyone leans forward. This is the moment they've been waiting for. What will the judge do? Judge Caprio picks up his pen. Writes something. Then looks up. Derrick Walsh, for the charge of speeding, I fine you $12,000. Derrick blinks. $12,000. For one ticket. Yes. The maximum fine allowed by law for excessive speeding with prior offenses. That's insane. That's the law. But we're not done. For contempt of court, I fine you an additional $5,000. What? Derrick's voice rises. You can't do that. Yes, I can. And I am. That's $17,000 total. Do you think that's a lot of money, Derrick? Derrick's jaw works. He wants to say no. Wants to say it's nothing. But he's smart enough to know that would make things worse. Yes, he finally says. Good. Then maybe it will actually mean something to you. But money isn't enough. Money has never been enough for you. Because you have too much of it. So we need something else. Something that will actually change your behavior. Like what? Your driver's license is suspended. Effective immediately. For 1 year. A year? How am I supposed to get around? The same way Mrs. Martinez does. The bus. Walking. Asking people for rides. You'll figure it out. Derrick's face goes pale. No driving for a year? His Porsche sitting in the garage. Having to take the bus like a regular person? But wait, Judge Caprio says. There's more. More? How can there be more? You will complete 300 hours of community service. Not 100. Not 200. 300. Do you know why? Derrick shakes his head. He can't speak. Because you need to see how other people live. You need to understand that the world doesn't revolve around you. You need to learn empathy. And the best way to learn empathy is to walk in someone else's shoes. What kind of community service? I'm glad you asked. You will work as a crossing guard. At Hope High School. The school you were speeding past. Every single school day for the next year. 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And then again from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Helping children cross the street safely. Protecting them from people like you. The courtroom erupts. People laugh. People clap. People can't believe what they're hearing. A crossing guard. This rich kid in his Tom Ford suit? Standing outside a school in a bright vest? Holding a stop sign? Derrick's face is completely white now. You can't be serious. I am completely serious. You will report to Principal Angela Reyes. She will supervise your service. You will wear the uniform, the bright yellow vest. You will hold the stop sign. You will help children cross safely. You will do it every single day. Rain or shine, hot or cold, no exceptions. I have a business to run. Then you'll run it before 6:30 in the morning and after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Figure it out. This is ridiculous. I'll appeal this. My lawyer will. Your lawyer will tell you that everything I've done is completely within my authority. But feel free to try. The appeals process takes about 6 months, during which time the suspension and community service requirements remain in effect. So you can appeal if you want, but you'll still be standing at that crosswalk tomorrow morning at 6:30. Derrick looks like he's about to explode. His face is red. His hands are shaking. His expensive watch catches the light. His designer shoes look so stupid right now. None of it can help him. None of it matters. Furthermore, Judge Caprio continues. You will write a 5,000-word essay on the importance of traffic safety. You will research statistics on pedestrian deaths. You will interview families who have lost loved ones to reckless drivers. You will make it personal, make it real, and you will read that essay out loud at 3 different schools: Hope High School, Central High School, and Classical High School. You will look those students in the eye and tell them why speeding is dangerous, why following the law matters, why their lives are worth more than your need for speed. I'm not doing that. Yes, you are, because if you don't, you will be held in contempt. Again, and I will add 30 days in county jail to your sentence. Do you want to spend 30 days in jail, Derrick? Derrick doesn't answer. He's breathing hard, looking around like someone might save him. But no one moves. No one speaks. They're all watching him, waiting to see what he'll do. I asked you a question. Do you want to spend 30 days in jail? No, Derrick finally says, his voice small. Then you will complete every single requirement I've given you. You will pay the fines. You will surrender your license. You will show up at that school tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. You will write that essay. You will give those presentations. You will do it all with respect and humility. And maybe, just maybe, you'll learn something. Do you understand? Yes. Derrick's voice cracks. I can't hear you. Yes, Your Honor. Louder this time. Defeated. Good. You will report to the clerk's office after this hearing. You will pay your fines. You will fill out the community service paperwork. You will surrender your driver's license. Today. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Mr. Santos, please escort Mr. Walsh to make sure he complies. The bailiff nods. Steps forward. Stands next to Derrick. Ready to follow him. Make sure he does what he's supposed to do. But Derrick isn't moving. He's just standing there. Frozen. This can't be happening. This isn't how his day was supposed to go. He was supposed to pay a fine and leave. Be at lunch by now. Back to his normal life. His easy life. His privileged life. Instead, his world is crashing down. No driving for a year. $17,000 in fines. Even though he's rich, that's real money. 300 hours of community service. Standing outside a school like some teenager with a juvenile record. Writing an essay like he's back in college. Giving speeches in front of kids who will probably laugh at him. And worst of all, everyone will know. This courtroom is always packed. People film things on their phones. This will be on social media by tonight. On TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. His friends will see it. His business partners. His father. Everyone will know that Judge Caprio destroyed him. Mr. Walsh, Judge Caprio says. His voice gentler now. I know this seems harsh. I know you're angry. But I need you to understand something. This isn't punishment for the sake of punishment. This is an opportunity. Derrick looks up. Confusion on his face. An opportunity. Yes. An opportunity to become a better person. To learn. To grow. To understand that your actions have consequences. That other people matter. That money doesn't make you special. You're 23 years old. Your whole life is ahead of you. You can keep going the way you've been going. Keep getting tickets. Keep being reckless. Keep treating people like they're beneath you. And one day, you'll hurt someone. Or kill someone. And then it won't be community service. It'll be prison. Real prison. For years. Derrick swallows hard. That reality hits him. Prison. Him. In an orange jumpsuit. In a cell. For killing someone because he was going too fast. It's not impossible. It could happen. Almost happened already. Or, Judge Caprio continues, you can take this as a wake-up call. You can do the work. You can learn the lessons. You can become someone better. Someone who uses his advantages to help people instead of looking down on them. Someone who sees people like Mrs. Martinez as human beings worthy of dignity and respect. The choice is yours. But you have to make it now. Today. In this moment. Who do you want to be? For the first time since walking into this courtroom, Derrick really looks at Dorothy Martinez. She's still sitting in the front row. Still holding Maria's hand. Still crying softly. Still overwhelmed by the relief of not owing $14,000 she could never pay. And Derrick sees her. Really sees her. Her white cane propped against the bench. Her bent fingers. Her thin white hair. Her worn dress. This woman who has survived 86 years. Who worked for 45 years. Who raised children and grandchildren. Who lost her sight but kept going. Who came to court today terrified and left with hope. And he laughed at her. Actually laughed. At her. At her situation. At her poverty. At her blindness. What kind of person does that? The answer hits him like a punch to the gut. A terrible person. That's what kind. He's a terrible person. Derrick starts. His voice shakes. I'm sorry. Don't tell me, Judge Caprio says. Tell her. Derrick turns. Walks slowly to where Dorothy sits. Each step feels heavy. He stops in front of her. She can't see him. Doesn't know he's there until he speaks. Mrs. Martinez, he says. His voice barely above a whisper. I'm sorry. For laughing. For what I said. For how I acted. You didn't deserve that. No one deserves that. I was wrong. Completely wrong. I'm sorry. Dorothy is quiet for a moment. Then she reaches out her hand. Derrick doesn't know what to do. Finally, he takes it. Her skin is soft. Wrinkled. Warm. She holds his hand in both of hers. I forgive you, she says. Simple as that. No conditions. No anger. Just forgiveness. Derrick loses it. Tears stream down his face. His expensive suit. His perfect hair. His confident facade. All of it crumbles. He's crying in the middle of a courtroom. In front of everyone. And he doesn't care. Thank you, he manages to say. Dorothy pats his hand. We all make mistakes. You're young. You have time to be better. Be better. I will. I promise. Maria watches this. She doesn't quite believe it. Doesn't know if it's real or if Derrick is just playing along to avoid more punishment. But she sees the tears. They look real. Maybe there's hope for this kid, after all. Maybe. Derrick straightens up. Wipes his face with his hand. Turns back to Judge Caprio. I'll do everything you said. All of it. I'll be there tomorrow at 6:30. Judge Caprio nods. I know you will. Because if you're not, there will be a warrant for your arrest. And trust me, you don't want that. No, sir. I don't. Good. Now go with Mr. Santos. Take care of the paperwork. Pay the fines. Start your new chapter. The bailiff leads Derrick out of the courtroom. As he walks past the gallery, no one claps. No one cheers. They just watch. Some with satisfaction. Some with curiosity. Some with hope that maybe this spoiled rich kid actually learned something today. The doors close behind him. The courtroom is quiet for a moment. Then Judge Caprio speaks again. This court is about justice. But it's also about mercy. It's about seeing people as people. Not as numbers. Not as categories. Not as rich or poor, young or old, sighted or blind. Just as people. People who make mistakes. People who deserve second chances. People who need help. And people who need to be held accountable. He looks directly at the gallery. At all the people watching. I hope you all learned something today. I hope you see that justice isn't about crushing people. It's about lifting them up when they fall. It's about teaching lessons when lessons are needed. It's about protecting the vulnerable and correcting the powerful. That's what we do here. Every single day. People nod. Some write notes. Others just sit there, taking it all in. This is why they come to watch Judge Caprio. Not for the drama, though that's part of it. But for this. For the wisdom. For the humanity. For the reminder that justice can be both tough and kind. Case dismissed, Judge Caprio says. He bangs the gavel. Dorothy and Maria stand. Still holding hands. Still processing everything that happened. The bailiff helps them gather their things. People approach them in the hallway. Offering congratulations. Sharing their own stories. Connecting over shared struggles. One woman says, my mother is blind too. I know how hard it is. A man says, the system isn't fair. But today was fair. Maria exchanges phone numbers with several people. Building a community. Finding support. realizing they're not alone. Outside the courthouse, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Dorothy lifts her face to the warmth. She can't see the blue sky, can't see the trees, can't see the people walking by, but she can feel the sun, feel the relief, feel the weight lifted off her shoulders. Thank God, she says. Thank God and thank that judge. He was amazing, Maria agrees. I've never seen anything like that. What did that boy look like? The one who cried. Young, rich, but maybe a little bit human by the end. Dorothy nods. Good. Everyone needs to remember they're human. Rich or poor. We're all just people. They walk to the bus stop. Wait for the number 28. It takes them back to Dorothy's apartment in South Providence. The same apartment she was terrified of losing just an hour ago. Now safe. Now secure. At least for a while longer. Derrick Walsh stands at the clerk's window. Patricia processes his paperwork. He hands over his driver's license. She takes it, puts it in a folder. Gone. For a year. He pulls out his wallet. It's Louis Vuitton. Probably costs more than Patricia makes in a week. He doesn't even think about that. Just pulls out a black card. American Express Centurion. The card with no limit. $17,000, Patricia says. He slides the card across the counter. She processes it. It takes less than a minute. $17,000. Gone. Just like that. He doesn't even blink. That's the problem. That's always been the problem. Money means nothing to him. So spending it means nothing. So consequences mean nothing. But standing at that school crosswalk, every single day, that will mean something. That will cost him something money can't buy. Time. Pride. Comfort. That's what Judge Caprio understood. That's why he designed the punishment this way. You're all set, Patricia says. Here's your paperwork. Take this to Principal Reyes at Hope High School. She's expecting you. Tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. sharp. Derrick takes the papers. Looks at them. His name. His sentence. His consequences. All in black and white. Officially documented. No way out. He walks out of the courthouse. His Porsche is parked in the lot. Silver and beautiful and completely useless for next year. He walks up to it. Touches the hood. It's warm from the sun. See you in a year, he mutters. He pulls out his phone. Opens Uber. Orders a ride. Back to his parents' house. Back to his old life that suddenly feels very different. The Uber is a Toyota Camry. 10 years old. Dent in the door. Smells like air freshener and fast food. The driver is a guy named Carlos. About 40. Tired eyes. Friendly smile. Rough day. Carlos asks. You have no idea, Derrick says. Court stuff. Yeah. I've been there. Got a ticket once. Couldn't afford to pay it. License got suspended. Lost my job because I couldn't drive. Took me 6 months to get it back. Nearly lost everything. Derrick listens. Really listens. 6 months. Nearly lost everything. Over one ticket. He just paid $17,000 like it was nothing. Carlos nearly lost everything over probably $300. How did you get through it? Derrick asks. Family. Friends. Church. People helped me. I'll never forget that. When you're down, you find out who really cares. You know. Derrick nods. Does he know? Does anyone really care about him? Or do they just care about his money? His connections? His father's wealth? He doesn't know the answer. And that scares him. They pull up to his parents' house. It's massive. 8,000 square feet. Pool in the back. 3-car garage. His Porsche will sit in there, gathering dust. Thanks, Derrick says. He tips Carlos $50. More than the fare. Carlos's eyes go wide. Wow. Thanks, man. That's generous. It's nothing, Derrick starts to say. Then stops. It's not nothing. Not to Carlos. $50 might be groceries for his family. Or part of his rent. Or something important. I mean, you're welcome. Drive safe. He gets out. Walks into his house. His mom is in the kitchen. She's on the phone. Laughing. Probably talking to a friend about tennis or lunch or whatever rich people talk about. She waves at Derrick but doesn't stop talking. He goes upstairs to his room. It's huge. Bigger than some people's entire apartments. Bigger than Dorothy Martinez's apartment, definitely. He has a king-size bed. A gaming setup with 3 monitors. A walk-in closet full of designer clothes. A bathroom with a rainfall shower. He sits on his bed. Looks around. Sees it all differently now. This isn't normal. This isn't what most people have. This is privilege. Pure privilege. He didn't earn this. He was just born lucky. His phone buzzes. A text from his friend Tyler. Yo, where are you? We're at lunch already. Derrick stares at the text. The lunch he was worried about missing. The lunch that seemed so important this morning. Now it seems so stupid. So pointless. He doesn't respond. Just sets his phone down. Lies back on his bed. Closes his eyes. Thinks about tomorrow morning. 6:30 a.m. Hope High School. Yellow vest. Stop sign. Children crossing the street. Children he could have killed. If things had gone differently that day. If he'd hit one of them. At 78 miles per hour. They wouldn't have survived. Some kid's whole life. Over. Because he wanted to test his engine. The thought makes him sick. Actually sick. He runs to the bathroom. Throws up. It's not the lunch. It's the reality. The weight of what he's done. What he could have done. What he's been doing for 2 years without caring. He rinses his mouth. Looks at himself in the mirror. Sees a stranger looking back. This isn't who he wants to be. This can't be who he is. Can it? 6 weeks later. It's 6:15 a.m. Still dark outside. Cold. November is here. Derrick stands at the corner of Broad Street and Prairie Avenue. Right in front of Hope High School. He's wearing the yellow vest. It's bright and ridiculous. He's holding the stop sign. It's cold and heavy. His breath makes clouds in the air. His nose is running. His hands are frozen. He's wearing his most basic clothes. Jeans. A hoodie. Regular shoes. Nothing designer. That lasted about 3 days before kids made fun of him, so much he gave up. The first kids start arriving. They recognize him now. After 6 weeks, he's become part of the scenery. Morning, Mr. Walsh, a girl named Kiana says. She's in 10th grade. Always has a smile. Morning, Kiana, he says back. A car approaches. Going too fast. Derrick steps into the street. Holds up the stop sign. The car slows. Stops. Annoyed driver. Derrick waves the kids across. They skip and run. Backpacks bouncing. Laughing. Alive. The car revs its engine. Impatient. Derrick finishes getting the kids across. Lowers the sign. The car speeds off. Derrick watches it go. 6 weeks ago, that was him. Now he wants to chase that car down. Tell that driver to slow down. To care. To see these kids as people. Principal Reyes walks by. She's here early every morning, making sure everything runs smoothly. She stops next to Derrick. How are you holding up? Cold, he admits. She laughs. Wait until January. This is nothing. Great. You know, she says, you're doing a good job. The kids like you. Parents have commented. They feel safer. Derrick doesn't know what to say to that. Thanks. Have you started your essay? Yeah. I interviewed 3 families. People who lost kids to car accidents. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. I bet. But important. Yeah. He pauses. Can I ask you something? Sure. Do you think people can really change? Like, fundamentally change who they are? Principal Reyes looks at him. Really looks at him. Sees the kid under the vest. The person trying to figure out who he is. I think people can grow. I think they can learn. I think they can make different choices. Whether that's change or just becoming more of who they always could have been, I don't know. But yes, I believe in growth. Derrick nods. I hope you're right. She pats his shoulder. Keep showing up. That's half the battle. Just keep showing up. She walks into the school. The sun is starting to rise. Orange and pink spreading across the sky. It's beautiful. Derrick never noticed sunrises before. Was always asleep. Now he sees one every day. Watches it happen while kids cross the street. While life goes on. While the world wakes up. More kids arrive. Then more. A flood of them. All heading to school. To learn. To grow. To become whoever they'll become. And Derrick is here. Keeping them safe. One crosswalk at a time. It's not much. But it's something. A little boy drops his backpack. Papers fly everywhere. Derrick helps him pick them up. The kid says thank you. Runs off to class. Such a small thing. But it feels good. Helping. Being useful. Being someone other than himself. His phone buzzes. He ignores it. Probably Tyler or another friend. He doesn't really talk to them anymore. They don't understand what he's going through. Don't want to understand. They think he should have fought the judge. Appealed the sentence. Gotten a better lawyer. They don't get it. This is what he needed. What he needs. To be here. To do this. To learn. At 8:30, the last student enters the building. Derrick's shift is done. For now. He'll be back at 2 o'clock. To do it all again. He folds the vest. Leans the sign against the wall. Walks to the bus stop. Yeah, the bus. He takes it now. Every day. Sees the same people. The woman with 3 kids who works at the hospital. The old man who rides to the senior center. The teenagers heading downtown. Regular people. Living regular lives. And now Derrick is one of them. The bus arrives. He gets on. Pays his fare. Sits in the back. Looks out the window. Watches Providence wake up. Coffee shops opening. People walking dogs. Life happening. His stop comes. He gets off. Walks 3 blocks to a small office. Not his parents' house. Not anymore. He moved out last week. Got his own place. It's small. 1 bedroom. Basic. But it's his. He's paying for it himself. From his business. Which he still runs. Just differently now. More carefully. More ethically. More consciously. Inside he makes coffee. Opens his laptop. Checks emails. Responds to clients. Works on projects. At noon he takes a break. Opens the document with his essay. 5,000 words. About traffic safety. About consequences. About the families he interviewed. There's Mrs. Chun. Her son Tommy was killed by a drunk driver. He was 16. Walking home from school. The driver was going 80. Never even saw Tommy. Mrs. Chun told Derrick about Tommy's dreams. He wanted to be an engineer. Wanted to build bridges. Now he's buried in Swan Point Cemetery. His dreams buried with him. There's Mr. Johnson. His daughter Aisha was hit by a texting driver. She survived. But she's paralyzed. Can't walk. Can't live alone. She's 22. Her whole life changed in 1 second. Because someone thought a text message was more important than paying attention. There's the Martinez family. No relation to Dorothy. They lost both their parents when a speeding car ran a red light. Hit their parents' car broadside. Killed them both instantly. Now 3 kids are orphans. Being raised by their grandparents. Who are old and tired and never expected to raise kids again. Derrick reads these stories. Types more. Adds details. Makes it personal. Makes it real. This isn't just an assignment. This is bearing witness. This is honoring these people. These lives. These losses. He works until 1:30. Then closes the laptop. Changes clothes. Heads back to the school. Another crosswalk shift. Another afternoon of protecting kids. Of being useful. Of mattering in a small but real way. 3 months later. February. Derrick stands in the auditorium at Hope High School. It's packed. Students fill the seats. Teachers line the walls. Principal Reyes sits in the front row. Next to her is Judge Frank Caprio. He came to watch. To see if Derrick actually did the work. Learned the lessons. Derrick walks to the podium. He's holding his essay. 20 pages. Printed. Highlighted. Marked with notes. He's read it 100 times. Practiced it 1,000 times. But he's still nervous. He looks out at the audience. Hundreds of faces. All watching him. Waiting to hear what this rich kid has to say. Why they should listen. Why they should care. He takes a breath. Begins. My name is Derrick Walsh. 3 months ago, I stood in front of Judge Caprio in Providence Municipal Court. I was there for speeding. 78 miles per hour in a 40 zone. Right outside this school. It was my 15th ticket in 2 years. I didn't think it was a big deal. I was wrong. He tells the whole story. His arrogance. His disrespect. His confrontation with Dorothy Martinez. The things he said. The things he did. He doesn't hide any of it. Doesn't make excuses. Just lays it all out. Honest and raw. I thought money could buy me out of anything. I thought consequences were for other people. I thought I was special. I was wrong about all of that. Then he reads the stories. Mrs. Chun and Tommy. Mr. Johnson and Aisha. The Martinez family and their orphan kids. He reads them slowly. Carefully. Letting each word land. Letting each story breathe. Students lean forward. Some are crying. Teachers wipe their eyes. Even Judge Caprio looks moved. This isn't what he expected. He expected a kid reading words someone else wrote. Going through the motions. But this is real. This is genuine. This is growth. I can't bring Tommy back, Derrick says. I can't help Aisha walk again. I can't give those kids their parents. But I can tell you this. Speed limits exist for a reason. Traffic laws exist for a reason. Not to annoy you, not to make your life harder, but to keep people alive, to protect you, to protect the people you love, to protect strangers you'll never meet but who matter just as much as you do. He talks about his time as a crossing guard, the kids he's helped, the cars he's stopped, the mornings he stood in the cold and rain and snow. How it changed him. How seeing those kids every day made them real, made their safety matter, made him care. I'm not telling you this to make you feel sorry for me. I'm telling you this because I want you to understand. Actions have consequences. Choices have consequences. Not just for you, for everyone around you. And you don't get to take those consequences back. You don't get a do-over. You get one chance to do the right thing. Make it count. He finishes reading, looks up. The auditorium is silent. Then someone claps. Then someone else. Then everyone. The whole room erupts in applause. Students stand. Teachers stand. Principal Reyes is smiling with tears running down her face. Judge Caprio stands too. He's nodding, looking at Derrick with something like pride, like hope, like belief that maybe this kid actually figured out. Derrick steps away from the podium. Students line up to talk to him, to ask questions, to share their own stories. A girl says, "My cousin was killed by a drunk driver. Thank you for this." A boy says, "I just got my license. I'm going to drive carefully. I promise." A teacher says, "That was powerful. Really powerful." It takes an hour to talk to everyone, to shake hands, to listen, to connect. When the crowd finally clears, Judge Caprio approaches. "Mr. Walsh," he says. Formal. Official. Judge Caprio. Derrick's heart pounds. Is he in trouble? Did he mess up somehow? That was well done. Very well done. Thank you, sir. Have you completed all your community service hours? Yes, sir. All 300. Principal Reyes has the documentation. And you've been showing up every morning and afternoon? No missed days. Not one. Even when I was sick. Even in the blizzard last month. Judge Caprio nods. Studies Derrick. You look different. I feel different. That's good. That's what I hoped for. He pauses. Your license suspension is up in 3 months. You'll be able to drive again. I know. Are you going to go back to your old ways? Get your Porsche out of a garage? Start speeding again? Derrick thinks about that. Really thinks. No, sir. I don't think so. Actually, I'm selling the Porsche. Judge Caprio's eyebrows rise. Really? Yeah. It's too much car. Too much temptation. I'm getting something normal. Something safe. Something that won't make me think I'm invincible. What are you going to do with the money? I'm donating it. Half to a scholarship fund for kids at Hope High School. Half to an organization that helps families affected by traffic accidents. Judge Caprio is quiet for a long moment. Then he extends his hand. Derrick shakes it. Firm. Respectful. Equal. I'm proud of you, Derrick. Not many people would have taken this opportunity seriously. But you did. You grew. You changed. You became someone better. That takes courage. Thank you, sir, for not giving up on me. For seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself. That's what justice is supposed to do. Not just punish, but transform, teach, heal. I hope you remember that. I will. I promise. They talk for a few more minutes. Then Judge Caprio leaves. Back to his courtroom. Back to the next case. The next person who needs justice. Or mercy. Or both. Derrick stays behind. Helps clean up the auditorium. Stacks chairs. Picks up trash. Small things. But they matter. Everything matters now. 6 months later. August. Dorothy Martinez sits in her living room. The TV is on. She can't see it, but she listens. The news is talking about a new program. A scholarship fund for students at Hope High School. Funded by a young man named Derrick Walsh. The same Derrick Walsh who stood in that courtroom 6 months ago. Who laughed at her. Who changed. The news shows a picture. Dorothy can't see it, but Maria describes it. It's him, Grandma. Derrick. He's at the school, handing out scholarship checks to students. That's nice, Dorothy says. Good for him. He donated $150,000. That's the money from selling his Porsche. A Porsche? What's that? A really expensive car. And he sold it to help kids go to college. Yeah. Dorothy smiles. See? People can change. Even rich people. Maria laughs. I guess so. The news continues. Shows interviews with students who receive scholarships. Shows Principal Reyes talking about Derrick's transformation. Shows footage of Derrick still working as a crossing guard. Even though his community service is done. Even though he doesn't have to anymore. He's doing it voluntarily now. Because he wants to. Because it matters to him. He's still helping kids cross the street, Maria says. Even though he finished his sentence months ago. Why? Because he cares. I think he actually cares now. Dorothy nods. Then Judge Caprio did his job. Justice and mercy. Together. That's how it should be. The case of Dorothy Martinez and Derrick Walsh spread across social media. The video went viral. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. People debated justice, privilege, redemption, consequences. Some said the judge was too harsh on Derrick. Others said he wasn't harsh enough. Some said Dorothy's case showed the system works. Others said it showed how broken the system is. But everyone agreed on one thing. Judge Frank Caprio is special. He sees people. All people. The blind grandmother and the spoiled rich kid. The nurse working double shifts and the crossing guard in the yellow vest. He sees their humanity. Their struggles, their potential, and he uses his position not just to enforce the law, but to change lives. In the months after the case, Providence Municipal Court implemented new policies. Any attempt to influence a case through connections is now immediately reported and investigated. Body cameras are mandatory for all traffic stops. A victim advocate program was expanded to help people like Dorothy navigate the system. And a new community service coordinator position was created to design meaningful, transformative service opportunities. Traffic violations near Hope High School dropped by 47%. Students report feeling safer. Parents are less worried. The crossing zone where Derrick works has had 0 accidents since he started. 0. That's not a coincidence. Other courts around the country have reached out to Judge Caprio, asking for advice, asking how to implement similar programs. How to balance justice and mercy. How to see people as people. How to transform instead of just punish. Judge Caprio shares what he's learned. But he always ends with the same message. Every person who walks into your courtroom is a human being. Treat them like one. See them. Hear them. Understand them. And then decide what justice looks like for them. Not what the law says in black and white, but what justice actually requires. Sometimes it's mercy. Sometimes it's consequences. Usually it's both. 1 year later, Derrick Walsh stands outside Providence Municipal Court. He's here voluntarily, not because he's in trouble, but because he wants to be here. He comes once a month, sits in the gallery, watches Judge Caprio work, learns, listens, remembers. Today's case involves a young woman, single mother, 3 kids, caught driving with a suspended license. She couldn't afford to pay old parking tickets, so her license was suspended. But she had to drive to work, had to feed her kids. So she drove anyway, got pulled over. Now she's here, facing more fines she can't pay, possible jail time, losing her kids. Judge Caprio listens to her story, asks questions, looks at her file. Then he dismisses all charges, wipes her record clean, orders the state to restore her license immediately, and writes a personal check to cover her old parking tickets. The woman cries. The gallery claps. Derrick smiles. He's seen this before. We'll see it again. This is what justice looks like. This is what mercy looks like. Together. After court, Derrick waits outside. When Judge Caprio emerges, Derrick approaches. Judge. Derrick. Good to see you. What brings you here? Just watching. Learning. Learn anything. Every time. They walk together to the parking lot. Derrick drives a used Honda Accord now. Reliable. Safe. Boring. Perfect. Judge Caprio drives an older model sedan. Nothing fancy. They stop between their cars. How's school? Judge Caprio asks. Good. Hard. But good. Oh yeah. Derrick went back to school. Enrolled at Rhode Island College. Studying social work. He wants to help people. Use his second chance to give others second chances. It's a long road. But he's committed. And the crossing guard position. Still doing it. Every day. I love it. The kids love you too. Principal Reyes tells me you're practically staff now. Derrick laughs. She's trying to recruit me. Wants me to become a teacher after I graduate. Would you consider it? Maybe. I don't know yet. But maybe. They stand there for a moment. Teacher and student. Judge and changed life. Two people connected by one moment in a courtroom that changed everything. Judge, Derrick says. I never thanked you. Not really. For what you did. For seeing past who I was and believing I could be someone better. You did the work, Derrick. Not me. I just gave you the opportunity. You gave me more than that. You gave me my life back. A real life. One that matters. One that means something. I was empty before. Just going through the motions. Wasting time. Wasting money. Wasting everything. Now I wake up with purpose. I go to bed knowing I did something good. Something real. That's because of you. Judge Caprio puts his hand on Derrick's shoulder. That's because of you. Don't give me credit for your growth. You chose to change. You chose to learn. You chose to be better. That's all you. I'm just glad I could be part of your journey. They shake hands. Then hug. Brief but genuine. Then they get in their cars. Drive away. Back to their lives. Their work. Their purpose. This is what justice looks like when it's done right. Not just punishment. Not just mercy. But transformation. Growth. Change. Second chances paired with real consequences. Accountability paired with compassion. Seeing people as more than their worst moments. Seeing potential instead of just problems. Judge Frank Caprio has been doing this for over 30 years. Thousands of cases. Thousands of lives touched. Some changed. Some just helped. Some just seen and heard and treated with dignity. He doesn't do it for recognition. Doesn't do it for fame. Does it because it's right. Because justice should be equal for everyone. Because mercy is just as important as law. Because every person deserves to be treated like a human being. Dorothy Martinez still lives in her small apartment. Still takes the bus. Still struggles financially. But she's not drowning in debt. Not facing homelessness. Not destroyed by a system that didn't see her as human. She was seen. She was heard. She was helped. That matters. Derrick Walsh is not the same person who walked into that courtroom a year ago. He's humble now. Aware. Conscious of his privilege, and using it for good. He's building a life that matters. Making choices that help people. Being someone his kids will be proud of one day. That's transformation. That's justice working. And it all started with one question. If I were to tell you right now that you have to pay these $14,200 in tickets, what would happen to you? One question that revealed everything. That showed the absurdity of charging a blind elderly woman for tickets she couldn't have gotten. That exposed the unfairness of a system that crushes people who can't fight back. One question that changed two lives. Dorothy's and Derrick's. Both standing in that courtroom. Both facing consequences for things they didn't really do. Or did do, but in very different circumstances. Both judged. Both shown mercy. Both seen as human. That's the legacy of this case. Not the viral video. Not the social media debates. But the lives changed. The lessons learned. The reminder that justice is about people. Always people. Not rules. Not procedures. Not efficiency. People. Money can buy many things. Nice cars. Designer clothes. Expensive watches. Luxury vacations. But it cannot buy back time. It cannot undo harm. It cannot purchase respect. It cannot manufacture character. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice is earned. Through humility. Through growth. Through change. Through recognizing that every person matters. That every life has value. That we're all connected. That what happens to one of us affects all of us. Dorothy Martinez taught Derrick Walsh that. Without even trying. Just by existing. Just by being there. Just by being human. And Judge Frank Caprio taught both of them that the system can work. When the people running it care. When they see beyond the surface. When they ask the right questions. When they balance law and mercy. When they remember that justice isn't about winning or losing. It's about making things right. That's what happened in that courtroom. Things were made right. Not perfect. Not easy. But right. And that's all we can ask for. All we should expect. All we should demand. Justice that sees. Justice that hears. Justice that transforms. Justice that's equal for everyone. No matter how much money they have.